guys, I just wanted to get on here and say hi, check in on how y'all are doing, and I wanted to share some resources with y'all about movies that you could watch online right now during your quarantine time that are either like uplifting or like a good message or just kind of like fun so that you can um, have something during this kind of like weird, hard time to just kind of relax and um, just get your mind off of everything. So I broke it up into like three different groups. I picked movies from Amazon Prime, from Netflix, and from Disney Plus. And so that's a lot of these movies, like, um, you can get them on different platforms. Um, and different stuff like that. So I'm going to start with Netflix. And the first one I have for Netflix is a movie called The Boy Who Harnessed the Wind. This is rated PG. I will say that I wouldn't really suggest this for people with younger families. It's uh, it's set in Africa, and so it has a lot of subtitles. It's a great movie, but I watched it with my 6-year-old nephew, and I was basically reading the whole thing out loud, and that was kind of annoying to me. But I know I would have enjoyed it if I wouldn't have been like reading it out loud the whole time. I would have enjoyed it more. But it's really good. It's about um, this. There's some natural causes of some rain, more rain than normal, and they don't harvest as much food as they usually do, and so people start getting a little stir crazy, and it kind of is reminding me of like a time like this when they're running out of food and everybody's freaking out about it and getting really greedy, and people are stealing food from each other, and this one boy is like, he really wants to fix the problem, and he thinks he knows how, but nobody really believes that he can do it. So that's a really, really good movie. The next movie is called Imagine That, also rated PG. This one is also on Amazon, so it's on Netflix and Amazon Prime. This has Eddie Murphy in it, so like I love movies with Eddie Murphy. He's super goofy and just great. This is about a dad who he like works in the business world and he's very CEO like. Well, he's trying to get the head job, and very wrapped up in his job and doesn't really spend a lot of time with his daughter as much. But she comes and stays with him for a week, and it's like a really busy week for him, and so he's like really not about it at first. But then over time, like they get closer, and it's just a really sweet, cute movie about like being close with your family. And at this time, like we're all like together right now with our families, and so I just want y'all to like to watch this and like be encouraged by that, and to really like I know sometimes it's hard like when you're with your siblings and your parents for this long, and you're kind of like getting on each other's nerves, but this is a good movie to like remind you that we want to get along with our family, and they're a really big blessing to us. The next movie is actually my only PG-13 movie on this list. So if you're under 13, I don't suggest you watch it. It is pretty tough, but it's called Freedom Riders, and it's one of my favorites, one of my absolute favorites. It's about this teacher who moves to a school that's in a pretty rough area of town, and a lot of the kids drop out before they even make it to their senior year. And they don't really take education very seriously, and the teachers don't expect anything from these kids. Like they're really, really like not proud of them and not really like in favor of anything that they do, and they treat them pretty bad. And this teacher was like, I need to change something, like something needs to change here, and she's teaching English, and so she actually gets them to like write in these journals and like write their story, and they like start to get really into it, and like she learns their stories, and it's just a really, really beautiful movie. It's based on a true story, and but there is some bad language, gang violence, some other stuff like that. So if you're under 13, I would not suggest it. And if you are 13 or older, I would probably watch it with a parent, just so you can like talk to them about stuff like that afterwards. And so that is it on my list. No, just kidding. One more for Netflix. The last movie is called The Long Shots. It's about a girl who decides to play football. And she's not like allowed to, and nobody wants her to because she's a girl. And it's just a very like inspiring and empowering, you know, go get 'em kind of movie. It's really great. Plus, I love sports, so I love that it's about football. It's a good one. It's a really really good one. Okay, the next few names that I'm gonna talk about are all on Amazon Prime. So the first movie on my list for Amazon Prime is called Wonder. Wonder is such a great movie. It's about a little boy who kind of has some, his face is a little deformed, and but he's such a really really sweet good kid, and he's always been a little too scared to go to school, but he really really wants to go. And so he decides to go to public school, which he had been homeschooled. And it's all about like his journey and fitting in and being accepted. And it's a really good movie. It's really inspiring. And I really recommend it. The next movie on the list is called Yours, Mine, and Ours. This is just a really good feel-good movie. It's really goofy, really silly. One of my favorite like middle school bands actually performs in the movie. There's the kids like, oh, there's my dog. The kids actually like have this party, and they like are the band at the party, which I thought was really interesting. The first time I saw it, I was like, oh, I know this group, because they're like a Christian rock band, so I like didn't really think that they would just be in a random movie like that, but it's awesome. And it's also like about two families who like combine, and they're very very large families. Also has my favorite actor in it, Dennis Quaid, love him. The Rookie would have made this list, but I felt like that's a little too basic because everybody pretty much knows that's one of my favorite movies, so I didn't put The Rookie on this list, but you should watch The Rookie. It's on Disney Plus. So it's got Dennis Quaid in it, and these two families combine, and they're it's just kind of like a reminder again about having a lot of families. Being in the same house cooped up for this long can be kind of hard, but figuring out how that works for y'all. And so it's a really good one. I suggest it. The next one on Amazon Prime is called Run the Race. Now, this movie is a little cheesy, and which is kind of like, you know, but it's a faith-based movie. It is really good though. There's also very, very good music in this movie. Like Need to Breathe, The Head and the Heart, Judah and the Lion. Like some of my absolute favorite bands all have music featured in this movie, which I thought was really cool. Because that's something that like matters to me a lot. But it's about two brothers, also another sports movie. Track and football are both represented in this movie. And Tim Tebow is one of the producers of it. So that's kind of cool too, because like Tim Tebow, you know, he's pretty cool. So that's a really good, it's a really good story about this guy who's on his journey, and he's had a lot of really tough losses in his life, and it kind of makes it hard for him to believe that God's still there for him. But you know, through his brother and some other influences in his life, he really like understands the importance of Christ and God, and it's really great. You should watch it. So now we're gonna switch over to Disney Plus. So the first one on the list for Disney Plus is called Herbie Fully Loaded. So I know there's like a lot of different Herbies, and any of them are great. Herbie Fully Loaded's got Lindsay Lohan, and like this was Lindsay Lohan at her prime, and I love Lindsay Lohan. And in this movie, Um, she really wants to be a racer, but like her dad doesn't want her to, and a lot of people don't really expect her to because she's a girl, and that doesn't really happen a lot. And um, her brother's a racer, but he's not very good, and like he's the only one that really seems to like him and a couple other people are the only ones that really seem to recognize that like, hey, she's really good and like she deserves to do this. And so she actually like um, she gets Herbie, and it's like the last one in the series that they've made so far. I mean, I'm sure they'll make more, but it's really really good. It's a good feel good movie. It's fun, and it's got racing. Hey Jacob, and I really like it. Really recommend that one. The next one, I just remember I haven't said any of the ratings for any of these. They have all been PG, except for Herbie Fully Loaded. That one is actually rated G. And I don't know what Run the Race is. I forgot to write the rating. The next one is Glory Road. That is rated PG. It's a basketball movie, so sports is kind of a theme here. It's a really, really, really good movie. It's kind of hard. It's got a lot. Sorry, I'm so distracted by him. It's got a lot of, it's set, I think it's in the 60s, I think. And it's about this basketball coach who was a high school girls coach. He won state. And so this college was like, hey, you should come be our coach in El Paso, Texas. And he keeps trying to, like, it's a small school. It's not very popular. And so he keeps trying to get players to come there, and they don't want to come. And then he, like, sees this black player, and he was like, whoa, he's really good. And he decides that he, like, wants to like put black people on the team, and like that wasn't really heard of in the South at this time. And he ends up putting 7 on his team, and people are really upset about it, but it's so good. And it's just I love basketball, and I love this movie. It's one of my favorites. But there are parts of it that are really really hard, but it's really good. You should watch it. And the last one is rated G. This movie is like, I haven't seen it in a while, but I really, really, really wanted to put on this list a Disney Channel original movie from like back in my elementary days. And so I think this one is in the 2000s somewhere. I don't really remember what year it came out. But I wanted to put like some of the movies on this list, like I hope that y'all haven't seen them. And this one I really don't think y'all would probably have seen. But it's about a guy who just like, I think he also plays football. But it's not like a sports movie. I think it might be like highlighted in the movie, but it's not a sports movie. But he isn't really happy with his life. He just like has all these things that are like missing, but we don't really, it's one of those where it's like he's searching for happiness, but he doesn't know what is going to help him get it. And so he finds this coin, and he like wishes that his life was completely different based on this one particular thing. And it changes a lot. And so it's kind of just like his journey on that. And so like this movie especially can teach us really about like being thankful for what we have, and like really, really appreciating the things that are in front of us, even in, again, this super weird, hard time. And I really hope that all of y'all at home right now are staying safe. You're staying home. And you are trying to get along with the people around you, whether that's having them walk in when you're making a video, or staying up too late and being grouchy in the morning, or whatever it may be. I hope that y'all can just have a good time at home right now, stay caught up on all your studies, and I will come on later and do another one of these when some time has passed, and so you'll have another 10 movies to watch. But for now, I hope y'all have a good rest of your day and you enjoy these movies.